Most of us have experienced betrayal from someone that we trusted, forgotten by the very people who promised to be there. And that's Joseph's story. Sold into slavery by his own brothers, wrongfully accused, and then thrown into prison. Yet at the end of his story, he stood in front of the ones who hurt him the most and said, "You meant evil against me, but God meant it for good." That's not just a Bible verse for me. I see that as a roadmap for healing. So today, let's talk about how to heal when the pain is so deep, when life doesn't make sense, and when the betrayal still stings. Genesis 50:20 gives us a blueprint, the correct way to look at how self-healing begins. Joseph didn't deny his pain. He didn't act like nothing happened. He looked at his brothers in the eyes and acknowledged their betrayal. "You meant evil against me." Healing doesn't mean pretending that it didn't hurt. It means facing it. But at the same time, you're seeing it through God's perspective and not yours. When Joseph said, "But God meant it for good," he chose to see the bigger picture. What they meant to break him, God used to build him. Your pain doesn't define you. God's purpose does. When you shift your purpose or your perspective to start to see your scars as proof of survival and not shame, Joseph had every right to seek revenge, but he chose forgiveness. That forgiveness didn't excuse their actions or erase the harm they did. When he chose forgiveness, it freed Joseph from bitterness. We cannot heal while holding on to resentment. Forgiveness is not saying, "Hey, it's okay." Forgiveness says, "It's finished." It's being handed over to God and trusting Him to bring justice. When you choose to forgive, you create that space for God to heal what they broke. Joseph's journey wasn't wasted. The pit, the prison, the betrayal, God used it all to save a nation and restore his own family. Now, you may feel like your life is in a mess right now. You might be in a pit season wondering why God allowed it. But Romans 8:28 says, "All things work together for those who love God." Healing begins when you trust that even the worst moments of your life can become part of God's great masterpiece. What the enemy meant for harm will become a testimony of His faithfulness. You've been through storms, you've been through betrayal, you've been through the heartbreak, but you're not broken beyond repair. Healing starts with a choice to see God's hand in your story, to forgive those who hurt you, and to believe your pain has a purpose. Joseph's story proves this. What was meant for evil, God can turn it into something good. Declare that over your life today. God's turning your pain into purpose beyond what you can see or understand right now. Stay with Him. Trust that He's at work behind the scenes of your life.